hello. I was about to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening because I never know where everybody's at. Because I know, and I'm so excited about this. This particular show that I have just went global last week. I had somebody on that was from Australia, and I was like, yes. I know they were like looking at me in a sense, they were kind of looking at me with a smile, and they were like, okay, why is she really like overzealous with this? And I'm like, do you know that you just made me global? That's why. So with that, and I always get so happy about that because one thing that I love to do is when a community comes together, not just within the United States, but through the world. There's so many wonderful individuals that, and this is a tip for everybody today. There's a few tips going to be coming out today, even with our wonderful guest, another queen that's coming on in a second. But always stretch yourself because you never know what you might miss an opportunity to meet that partner, meet that business person, meet a new friend. That's it don't have to be in your own little backyard. Okay. Stop playing, small and let's build it and just build and meet people. So yes, it was really a big, huge thing to me to say that I have individuals on now that are coming global. And I want you to always understand it. That's another tip for being visible. See, get yourself out there. I always say that you have that gift in you. You do have that unique gift in you that makes that you need to put out there because you never know. First of all, it's going to help you grow. It's going to help you expand yourself. And second, you're holding back your gift if you don't show up from somebody that might need you, that might need to connect with you, that might need to heal from you, that you might save a life for somebody. And that's when you think about that. I know I'm getting deep. I know I'm deep in here, but when you think about that, your gift, something that you have inside of you, and if you talk to another person and you might have stopped them from either thinking about giving up, maybe in their business, maybe in their life. That happened to me. So I was talking to somebody and I didn't know where they was going through, what they were going through. And they came back to me months and months later, said, Barbara, with the conversation I had with you, I was about to give up everything because I was done. And when they told me that, I cried. I literally cried because I said, thank you for another life that's been saved just because I opened my mouth, just because I was there, just because I was visible to that person. So always remember that. And I want you to, just push yourself little by little. You don't have to take, the big leaps. You're like, I don't want to take that big of a leap. I got to get on view and again, I would get on the video. Take little steps. Take little steps. So with that said, moving on by taking a step, we're going to take a huge step because I bring on the experts, the individuals, the entrepreneurs, the business, whoever they are that's shining a light to the world onto this stage right here. And I have this person I've been waiting on for a few weeks. We had to reschedule, and that's okay. But I'm so glad she was able to get back on my schedule because you never know. Queens like this, they're very busy. They're like, okay, wait a minute, Barbara, let me check. Let me check. And she checked and she got back on. And she's just a joy. One thing she shares with me that when I first, because I was introduced to her by another wonderful, I call him King, Charles, and he said, you got this lady, this is my lady. You need to talk to her. And I was like, okay. And then when I heard her speak and I was listening to her platform and she was doing the queen and her whole thing's about the queens, I'm like, oh my God, this is like the light that shined on me because she believes in the same thing I do when it comes to queens. And I want her when we talk, I want her just to get a little bit into that because some people always ask me, well, why are you always calling the women queens, Barbara? You always call the women queens. Okay, you know what? I got the big boss queen coming on today. She's going to explain in more detail because we got that. We got that. So with that, Elena Rodriguez, she basically is a boss lady. Like I said, she's the queen of queens. And she basically she's bringing sexy back to self-care. And I love that because we all need that self-care. She's the founder and CEO of the Show Your Crown, the elite member club for comeback queens. And she has a wonderful beauty line of luxurious lipstick company. Elena teaches women how to build confidence, crush goals, and come back strong. And this lady has come back strong among strongs, among strong among strong. And that's why she basically has that credibility up there to talk to individuals and bring you to that next level. So she is not shy at all. So don't even think that. She's there to say, okay, you need to move forward. And we're going to talk a little bit conversation with her. But before we bring her on, I got to do the Queen justice. And we'll be right back after this one little video clip. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Queen.
Yes. Hello, beautiful. How are you today?
I am great, lady. I feel like just because of your spirit and how you are, I feel like I've been knowing you for a while.
Yep, that's how we
We
do it.
That's how you do it, doesn't it? And it's like you meet somebody the first time, you're like, oh my God, I feel like I've been knowing this person for a while. And we just really, like you said earlier, behind, the green, what I call the virtual green room, you're like, well, you didn't get a chance to talk or anything. I said, I said, but I know this conversation is going to be powerful.
Yes.
So, Queen, first of all, and I don't have to even explain to you. See, other women, when I would come on, I always say, I'm going to be saying queen a lot. So just get used to it. I don't have to even explain that to you because you already deem that. You know that. Mm-hmm. And that's nice that I don't have to explain that. But first, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming on my show because I know, time is of the essence. Yes. And for you to take the time out to speak to me, to come here, I truly, truly don't take that for granted. So thank you so much, Queen, for doing that today.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Yes. Now let's get into it. Let's have this conversation with you. First of all, you're beautiful. I just want to say that you are a gorgeous lady, and we as women, we as queens, we need to always. This is according to Barbara right now. Need to always amplify each other and put each other up there, and really just give that encouragement.
Yes,
because we go through our days of we got to deal with the noise outside and everything like that. So when you have another two ladies we're talking, always encourage. So I always wanted to tell you, lady, you show up, you be on the screen. I love your cosmetic, I mean, the lipstick, the whole thing. You are the complete package. And I'm glad that you're showing up for other ladies and women so they can feel beautiful and do a self-care. So thank you for that.
Yes, and it's important to be beautiful today, right now, as is, and that's why anybody that has checked out my page, I'll go on waking up looking like a hot mess, in tears, because we're real, we're complex. It's not always let me be ready in 10 minutes. It's like life happens now, so.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, Queen. And I want you to get a little more into that because I know your biggest mission is to really help women, like you're talking about, their self-care and be in the confidence and coming back to whatever they've been dealing with. Because we all been through our low valleys, and some we're still going to go through that until we pass away. We get our wings, as I say. Yep. But it's how you handle it. Now, I want you, if you don't mind, because I always like pulling that backstory a little bit. Mm-hmm. And really understand, because you're this powerful woman, and I know it took some journeys to get to that. So can you share us with that, how you got to this point?
Ooh, heck yeah. I initially came out in this, I owned a fitness studio for 14 years. So I've always been pushing, motivating, go from stage and pushing. And then I went into the corporate world and licensed through John Maxwell, wanted to be executive leadership. And I had this plan, right? I had this vision. And I ended up leaving the corporate world to start my coaching practice, my own business. And 8 weeks later, my husband had a heart attack and he ended up dying on Christmas Eve. And this was back in 2018. And he owned his business. So he was going to support us while I got, things going in mine. And now he was in ICU. He ended up passing away. His business was bleeding out. I had no job. Like overnight, literally everything changed. But that was hard enough. What was shocking to me was that I was kind of living a lie that I knew nothing about. There was debt, there was financial ruin, there was 9 months after he died, I discovered a 5-year affair. And I got to a point where I felt like Rocky in the ring, that I'm thinking, God, like how many more hits can I take? Like how can I keep grabbing those ropes and like clawing my way up? I was exhausted. And finding out about the affair 9 months later, that was it. Like that was the piece that just broke me. But I look back now and I think God laid everything down gently for me, because I think if I'd have found everything out while grieving, while the trauma, I don't know if I'd be here. And so that catapulted this fierceness in me, because I remember thinking, okay, you you took everything from me. I still am mourning you. I'm grieving you, but now I have to forgive you. And I can't ask questions, and I can't, I mean, there was so much. And I thought, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? Because I was still losing money, and it was horrible. We went into COVID, like it just kept getting worse. And I thought, what's the worst thing that can happen? I like to do that. What's the worst thing that can happen? And for me, it was, you lose your home. You lose your home. And that happened. But I moved in with my mom. I had 2 grown sons. At that time, I was 46 years old, wondering, how am I moving back in with my mom? How did I get here? And that was the moment that it's like, you have a choice to make right here. You can find the gift in this completely clean slate, completely, or you can stay stuck, and you can become bitter, and you can become angry. And I chose to do something with it. I chose to recognize that I knew everything that happens at the time that God chooses, and in preparation for a moment yet to come. And I just didn't know what that was yet. And I thought, but there's something here. What am I supposed to learn? And that is how we have Besitos Beauty, Show Your Crown, and the Comeback Queens. That was the point. Yes.
Ooh, you know what? When you mentioned Rocky and then you told the ending part of your story, I could just see you doing that, going up them stairs and be like,
yeah. I got to that point where it was like, hit me harder, man. Just hit me harder, because I'm not going down. I'm not staying down. And but that's why I know coming back, it's hard. It's hard. And I honor that strength in the others that are doing it. But I also know there's days you are in darkness and you are lost and you feel blind. And then I know there's days that you're like in go mode, get out my way because I'm doing it. And it's okay to be in both spaces. I think we need to honor that about each other, that we're going to have both spaces, and we're queens in both of them, and not to forget that.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Queen. So I just want to just, first of all, commend you for doing what I always see women, that are in business like that, is just keep going like how you do, that you said the biggest thing is making that choice. So important. I always tell people that's that direction where things can change in your life, where you can go from one extreme to the other extreme. And you said, you know what, I'm taking this whole thing, all this, like I said, hurricanes or earthquakes of life, and I'm not going to let it just shoot me down or swing me away, or have the, like in the Wizard of Oz where the house fell on. You're not going to do all that. Didn't happen. You're like, no, we're going to take this gift. And I love how you said that. And the audience hear that. I love what Queen said. She took that gift and she turned it around, and look at what she built from that. Yeah. And look at the community that she has. Yeah. So Queen, I want to get into, because with your story, and I always say the stories in your life kind of, puts yourself out there for people that maybe were there where you were,
Mm-hmm.
or people that are going through right now with it, any kind of stage in life they are. So when you talk to the women and you see them, they had to build their confidence, because everybody, some people come and say, okay, I got to do this, and other people, they really struggle even more.
Mm-hmm.
How do you work through that with them?
That is the amazing thing of my cosmetics company. It started as just lipstick, okay? Because when I was at my mom's and I was having my pity party and I was scrolling through Facebook, a memory came up, a photo, and I have a neck surgery. I have a big scar right here. And it was like 2 days after my surgery, I still had my lipstick on. And something clicked. Lipstick pulled me together. Lipstick, when everything was falling apart and I didn't want to get out of my PJs and I just wanted to crawl in a hole and die, I still had to get up, and I would at least just put my lipstick and be like, okay, girl, let's go. We've got to do it. So being a businesswoman, I'm like, I need to create a lipstick. I need to create a lipstick to help women remember who they are. And it just kind of clicked with like ideas. And so I developed a formula, worked with manufacturers. Before you know it, I have this lipstick that was really designed to bring women together to have fun. But I know the power of lipstick. I do color theory. If you're speaking on stage or you're in an interview, there's different shades you should wear. And so I bring this education to bring women together. But as I have them try different lipsticks, I watch this confidence grow. And then we become more comfortable with each other. We're like, friends. So then the conversation begins to become a little bit more personal. And then from there, now I'm coaching. Now we're doing business. Now you have that dream, you have that comeback. And, I've even written an ebook that I'll make available, but it's called Build Beyond Betrayal. And it's really tapping into how is a betrayal of any kind, excuse me, can be blocking that success. And these are things I had to go through. But so that's how I do it now. And one of the pieces that I had to go through after I discovered the affair, we were in COVID, we were in shutdown. And I'll be honest, I got into drinking wine. I would drink beer. I would do anything to just numb it. And everybody would say, you got to talk in the mirror. You got to talk to yourself. I couldn't even look at myself. I couldn't look in the mirror. I was so angry at myself. Did I get myself here? What happened? He's dead. Like, what do I do? And so I started taking photos of myself so that I could zoom in and I could look at my eyes and I could tell that person, you're beautiful. I could tell that person, it's not your fault, because I couldn't quite tell myself yet, not in the mirror. And so the power of photos and the power of pulling yourself together, even when you got to paint that smile on, even when you're not feeling it, you still have to show up for people. So it was like, paint the smile, paint your smile. So today, like some of the retreats I do, and this will probably be like, what? But I actually do, I have part of the package in one of my retreats is a boudoir photo shoot. And the power that these women come into when it's like, love yourself, your body, all of you today as is, not when you lose 20 pounds, not when your skin looks like it's 50 years younger, like today, right now, you've owned it, you've earned it. And so that's part of the confidence building that I do as well, is tap into that inner goddess. That queen comes forward when you're able to see yourself in photos and be captured by the artist that sees the beauty in you. It's like you're looking at this woman and you're like, oh yeah, I remember who you are. Let's go. And life's transformed. So that's how my work has evolved through my own experiences.
Yes. And that's basically how it goes, Queen. I mean, like you said, when you learn and go through your, like I said, earthquakes, then you know what? I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And see, that's why I love how you're very authentic in what you say, and when you're on stage and speaking, or on your videos that you talk about, you're real.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about you, because we need to hear that. Like I said earlier, before I brought you on, you don't know whose lives you're saving by your story, what you're talking about, and the things and the ickiness and all that, and the ugh and everything.
Yeah.
You go through it.
Yeah.
And when they see they look at you. They, you're this boss lady, you're this queen, you have this company, and then people are like, oh, she, you never know. People they thinking, oh, she probably didn't go through. She's doing all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And you go,
Yep.
no,
No.
no.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I had this was all in 2019. 2019 was my year of like storm. Trucks repossessed at 2 a.m. I got people knocking on my door. They got the gun in the pocket and they're there to take some of his trucks. And I'm like, take it. So that happened. This is amazing. In 2019, I still wrote my first book. It's called Broken Stronger. And I still pushed through and I still did that. But when we were getting ready, I was getting ready to do a podcast and talk about the promo of my book, and my electricity went out. I couldn't pay my bills. Like, my electricity went out. I sold my $7,000 diamond wedding ring that I knew meant nothing because I discovered the affair. I sold it for $500 so that I could get my electricity on, so that I could show up for myself and do what I had to do. And it's like, when I see people that want it, when they really, really want it, there's no excuse. You will find a way. Sometimes, though, you just need to know somebody's there to help guide you along, But so when I come out today and I've got the smile and I've got the lipstick and we're doing all these events and all this great stuff, oh no, it wasn't always this way. And I talk about those places all the time, not because I'm stuck in them, not because I'm angry, but because it's there to show other people. You can come from nothing. You can come from being buried 6 figures under overnight, which is where I was, and you can still come back strong. That's why my queens, we call them comeback queens, because we've taken those beat downs and we're ready to turn them into blessings. And that's what we do. And that's how we show up for each other.
I love it. I love it. I like how you said that's what we do. Yes, you do. You do that. And just to say, Queen, to take all that, like you said, not sitting in it, but showing people, saying, "Look, I was the same place with you." Because everything that you said, I'm just thinking about myself and all the valley lows that I had a husband. Well, we're on the divorce stage, but it's 27 years, and come to find out, he's gay. 27 years of marriage and having affairs behind my back. And I told people, I said, I think I told one of my friends, I said, maybe I would have felt it just a little bit better if it was another woman. The reason why I said that, because I'm like, okay, did I mess up? Was I so screwed up that you went to man? I was just being real. I was like, what is really going on here? But like you said, I had to look at all that. This is one of the valleys. But like you said, Queen, you have to look at that, tell your story out there, and then show that you got to make that choice.
Yes. And it's scary, because when I came out and talked about the affair that I had discovered, the woman was in my home 2 days prior, before I found out. And, there were a few people, I didn't tell a lot of people. I told a few people. There were a few that wanted to go and act crazy and be, and I said, no, I'm going to pray for her. Because you can't be with somebody for 5 years, whether you're behind the scenes, in the shadows, the secret, whatever it is, but you cannot have that connection for 5 years and not mourn their loss as well. So I wondered, like, whose shoulder could she cry on? Who was there for her? Like, my heart actually went to her. Now, I never said anything to her. I thought, there's nothing she can tell me that I need to hear. He's not here, so it will turn into a she said, and there's no reason. There's nothing she can do for me. There's nothing I need from her. I just prayed for her, and I moved, and I did what I needed to do. But the work that I was doing, I had to come clean about it. I could not carry this toxic bomb inside of me and claim strength, confidence, all these things, and be hiding behind something that was not my cross to carry. So when I came out about it and I said, I got to just shoot it straight, because I feel like I'm lying to you all by telling you to be transparent, and I'm not. right?
Mhm.
And I took some backlash for sure,
Mhm.
about these things, because people are like, how dare you talk about somebody after they've passed, or how dare you do this? And my thing is, I never used his name. I never
Mhm.
used her name. And
Mhm.
this is years ago. And so people that know me today, they don't know him. They know me and my story. And my
Mhm.
story is here to help other people forward. And so I think sometimes when we're in it, we are afraid, man. Like it takes so much courage to come forward with the things that are hurting you.
Yes.
And if we can be there for each other, those of us, you and I, we've been there and we're doing it. And so if we can be there to
Mhm.
share some of that strength, to say you too will be okay, you too will get there, then I feel it's our obligation to share these stories. We've got
Yes.
to. So
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
Ooh, yes. Oh, Queen, I can talk to you.
I know.
I'm just sitting here like just in awe, like, oh, I can just talk to her, just listen to her talk. But I want to, before we, because I know time, but
Yep.
real quickly, Queen. I mean, not too quick, but yeah, quick enough, because I really want you, and you talked a little bit about it, because you have a process. You have a 3C process. So can you just dive just a little into that before we wrap up?
Yes, my 3C process. A lot of people are seeking clarity. Okay, that's the word. They want clarity, and I'm here to tell you it doesn't really exist. Okay, things are changing every day, all the time. There's nothing that's ever really crystal clear, but the process of achieving that place is, you've got, and this word is not a sexy word, but it's called competency. You've got to get competent around the thing. So that's why I wrote Build Beyond Betrayal, because I had to get competent in what does being cheated on really do. I had to get competent in where is my business really failing. I had to get competent on how much do I really not know where my money's going. Like, I had to get competent. And you got to look at it. You got to be real, because the more you get competent that you know about a subject, then you grow into confidence. You're not afraid to be asked questions. You're not afraid to talk about things because you're competent about it. You know all about it. So now you're confident. And once you have that confidence, you then have the courage to go out and do something about it. But if you're not competent, if you're afraid that you don't know the facts, if you're afraid of what you don't know, if you're afraid that you might get a question and not have an answer, that's the beginning stage, because then that grows the confidence. And then once that's built, man, you got the courage to go out and share who you are. And so that's the progression to actual clarity that people are seeking.
Ooh.
That's what I cover in Show Your Crown. It's an elite members club, but we dive into all these kinds of topics, and I
Mhm.
just pour into it on the regular. So
Oh, I know each queen that's in there. I mean, it's just amazing, the community that you're building for these women that need each other, like you first, because I know you're the helm of it, but everybody coming in and talking about that and just building more and more. So thank you for for that community coming out of the gift, as you said earlier, that happened to you. So, Miss Queen, I want to give you just a few seconds to just say some things, some lasting things, and I know you have a free gift you're offering. So I'm going to take myself down because I want you to have the stage for a minute, and then I'll come back up and we wrap it up. So I'll be right
thank
back.
you. Thank you. The main thing that I want to share with you, and these are words that were given to me by my GOD a few years ago, and it's remember who you are. Remember whose you are. Boldly step forward, show your crown. And we each have a unique crown. We each have unique gifts. We each have different experiences that equip us to be the experts in what we're talking about. So never sell yourself short. Never believe yours isn't good enough. Never believe theirs is better, because yours is unique and it's created for you. And I'm here to remind you, boldly step forward, show your crown. So I encourage you to visit showyourcrown.com. I've got a free gift available. It's a download for Build Beyond Betrayal. Maybe that's your story, maybe it's not, but there's information information in there that can really benefit anyone that is looking to build beyond and turn those beat downs into blessings. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you, Queen. And as always, you have that crown. I see it. I tell people, be like, well, I can't see it. It's there.
It's there.
You can see it with. You can see
it. Mine it just shows up on my lips.
Yes. And if you notice, I said I knew I was talking to you today. I said I need to put on some lipstick that's gonna have some power to it. So I found my purple lipstick. So thank you. The connection, you're right. The connection is real. Yeah. So again, Queen, thank you so much for coming on. Please, everybody, reach out to this wonderful Queen. You heard her story. You heard her heart. That's what I said. When you hear people's hearts and they're out doing this thing and they're out showing up, remember, visibility is the key. If people don't see you, you're hidden. You cannot be out there. People are not going to know you. This Queen is showing up today and always she shows up. So with that, Queen and everybody, I really appreciate you coming on the Visibility Corner today. If you are interested in coming on the show and being part of this, just like the Queen was today, sharing your story, sharing some tips on how to be out there and just be you, like you said, the confidence level, like the Queen said, and the 3 C's she's talking about, so important. Come and just come to me. I'm everywhere on social media. I don't even put different. I just say, just look for Barbara J. Beckley and you can come on the show. So with that, Queen, thank you again. And we will see everybody at the next episode of Visibility Corner with yours truly, Barbara J. Beckley.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.